Hello, and thanks for joining us today. I'm super excited you could be here. We are going to dive into human development for a healthy ROI today. I know it sounds kind of weird and crazy and cool right at the same time, right? Well, you're going to love what we're going to dive into because this is a new way that revolutionizes really how you learn things. And it's also going to revolutionize how your team members and how your staff can actually be able to learn better, absorb more, really with less time committed. And it's all done through a new system, a new way of basically absorbing information, okay, without wasting time based on how the military does things, based on how athletes do things. You're going to absolutely love this. And with us to have the conversation today is Alex Kutsishin. He is the co-founder and CEO of Fuel Inc., the world's first performance as a service platform designed to deliver cutting-edge performance training for sales team and leaders, amongst others in your company as well. So Fuel is transforming traditional business education by combing science-based learning, real-time coaching, and advanced analytics to create happier, healthier, and more productive professionals. So Alex is a born entrepreneur, and he has co-founded 10 different companies across diverse industries, from launching medical offices in Washington, D.C., to building the first American-based low-code, no-code platform for creating custom mobile websites. His ventures consistently push the boundaries of innovation, blending technology and strategic growth to meet evolving market demands. Now, Alex's achievements have earned him widespread recognition, including EY Entrepreneur of the Year, Inc. 101, and Deloitte Fast 50 honors. Now, he's also credited with building the fastest growing mortgage technology company in the world, achieving a staggering 7,000% growth in just 4 years. And now with Fuel, Alex continues his mission to redefine how individuals and organizations unlock peak performance. What's up, buddy? How are you doing today?
Oh man, hold on, I gotta press this button that gives confetti everywhere because
I didn't even
wow,
know there was a confetti button.
I have all kinds of button. Look, I was gonna give you the intro. I was gonna give a big thumb up to, because it's incredible. I'm like Kramer, you know, when you watch the show Kramer on Fast Money or Mad Money, whatever it's called, he does all kinds of crazy stuff. Man, that was an incredible introduction, and what an I haven't had anyone do it with such energy and passion and purpose, and the way that you weaved my history together. That was really special. Thank you, Ty.
I appreciate it, but I know you really well, and what I said was we could sit here for an hour about your accolades. Man, you've built some big, very successful companies across a multitude of different industries. Something that a very, very minute percentage of entrepreneurs could do. So just kudos to you on everything that you're doing
Thank
and
you, man.
everything you've done.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's I start telling every child. I actually just did this child. I mean, they're 18 years old. I just was at a graduate. Everyone's having graduation parties. I was just at a graduation party, and all these 18, 17 year olds, and we're hanging out, and every time I gave somebody advice that came over that wanted to chat about something, it's like, do what you're good at. Do what you're good at. Do what you're good at. Yes, everyone says do what you love. Do what you're good at. Okay, do that. You'll fall in love with it. You can always follow your heart to do what you love. That may not be something that at the moment is something that can help you live a good life. Do what you're good at. And I think when you do the thing that you're good at, you fall in love with it. And I fell in love with building teams. That's it.
So what's the idea behind Fuel? Like what problem are you solving when you came up with Fueling?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that question that way. And I'm gonna approach this very differently than I do in other interviews, just because of our relationship, and I think how raw and direct we can get here. My co-founder called me in 2022 and said, "Education is broken. Can you help me fix it?" My co-founder happens to have written 20 books, happens to have had nearly 7 million people go through his training, education. Okay, this is 30-year practitioner of education calling me to tell me education is broken, which is interesting. When he called to tell me this, Ty, what he didn't know is I thought education was broken from the moment I stepped into grade school. Something didn't feel right, which is why my experience was a turbulent one in school, because I wanted to go do things rather than just sit and keep hearing theory and ideas. And I wanted to go, get active, get behind it. And so the entire purpose behind Fuel is really, I think there needs to be a demarcation, Ty. Humans before AI, humans after AI. Meaning the way that we learn, the way that we apply ourselves, it's all changed just over the last couple years. And we have to recognize, we've been talking about education change. We have to recognize that now we don't have a choice. We have to change the way we do things. And so fuel is about the thing that makes humans humans, our ability to apply the things that we know. Nobody telling us how. As we know things, we apply them. And today, the application of knowledge is the number one most valuable commodity, most valuable asset humans have. It's not about knowledge anymore. It used to be knowledge. It used to be like gather all of this, know all this knowledge. But now it's more than knowing the knowledge. It's about having the knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge. And you said this earlier, Ty. This is not something that Alex and Todd decided to invent and say, hey, let's find a new way to become better at doing things. No, there's a couple of industries that have perfected it. We don't have to recreate anything. We just have to apply something old in a new way. That's all, in a new place. And that's what we're doing. So fuel is about performance improvement in your career and your personal life, in every level of education and understanding, in every department. And of course, if we get into this, I'll share this with you, in every language. And using AI makes it possible. I could be speaking any language and it would sound and look like I'm speaking your language, which is very important in learning. The syncing of the lips allows education to stick. So that's a very important part of the science of what we're doing here. But that's what it's for, Ty.
What you guys describe it as is performance as a service. So what does that mean?
Yeah, a great question. So we know what software as a service is, and a lot of people just say SaaS. They just say SaaS, they say software as a service, but how many people have actually unpacked what is being said in software as a service? Here's what it means. For everyone listening who may have not unpacked it, here's what it means. Before there was software as a service, you'd buy a piece of technology, you'd install it, it would get old, you'd buy a new piece of technology, you would install it. Well, software as a service said, you know what? Instead of you spending $5,000 on this piece of technology and then a few years later another $5,000 or whatever it may be on a better version, what if we kept your technology up to date as a service? It's always new. We're always adding things to it, and you instantly get it. Just by paying us a monthly fee, you instantly get the value of all the things that we offer as this technology. That is what a SaaS company is, software as a service. They continuously keep your software up to date and evolving. So what's performance as a service? It's exactly that. We keep improving the performance of your team by constantly putting in modules, content, events, live interactions, all the different things that help us become better us. That's it. Not better to produce a better result for a company. That's a big mistake, right? That's something that some of the biggest and best companies in the world learned about a decade ago. They said we need to stop teaching them skills on how to do their job, and we need to start making them great at feeling great about themselves and being able to apply themselves in many different ways, and making them feel good for coming in here, make them feel like they're part of a team, make them feel like they're part of something bigger, make them feel like they're heard and supported. Why? That's not skill. That's not teaching somebody how to sell or how to program. Why should people feel like they're heard? Because when people are heard, when people feel psychologically safe, they perform at their highest levels. Okay? And so performance to service is our job is to keep everyone on your team improving, and that your standard keeps going up. Just like in sports, just like in the professional world, keep going up. Ultimately, what happens with a performance as a service platform and a partnership that we have with lots of enterprises is you get to retain your top talent. The most important thing for the future of all success in enterprise is retention of your best people. And they are dropping like flies. Old methods are not working. Good people are leaving constantly. HR departments pulling their hair out, struggling to figure out how to improve performance and morale and well-being without spending more money. That's a big thing right now. And so this covers all of that. Check, 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 check. It's a cost savings, and it improves the performance of every level in every department. And I'll finish with this, Ty. Ultimately, the performance as a service piece is about creating leadership effectiveness. The most important element of success in a team, and I can show you a lot of evidence about this, is leadership. It's not individual performers. It's leadership. You see it over and over and over again in sports, in the military, in business. They bring in you've heard about this, Ty, the turnaround CEO. Why does that work? Why in the world can a person come in and turn a company around? because it's about leadership. And so ultimately, Fuel, performance as a service, creates effective leaders, because when you have effective leaders, the rest of the team is taken care of. You don't have to worry about individuals. You focus on developing your leadership team. Your leadership team focuses on developing the people. Again, just like sports, just like the military, it's nothing new. But it doesn't work like that way in the professional world, Ty. You know why? You're going to love this one. Because the professional world seems to believe and subscribe to the Pareto principle. How many times have you heard, Ty? How many times have you said it? 80% of my team, 20% of my team does 80% of the work. 20% of them do 80% of this. You hear this, right?
All the time.
It's a plague. It's a plague. It's a virus. It is an absolute cancer to business, because people go, oh, well, hire 20,000 people because only 20% of them are actually going to do something. So we need a bunch because we don't know which 20% are going to do it. So hire them all. Remember that old model? Remember companies just promoting, look how many employees we have? That's going away quickly, right? What is it? Cursor? You know Cursor, the company Cursor?
Yes.
Where people are programming from, right? I believe they have 9 people working there. I believe their valuation last month was $9 billion or $8 billion with 9 people. Something ridiculous. Just a bunch of people that know what they want to do. They do it well. They support themselves with technology, and nobody on the team doesn't want to be there. They all want to be there. That's what Fuel helps create. A place where people want to be where they are, because clearly their organization is supporting them to be the best them. And if the best them should be off the team, they'll make that decision, right? That's the beauty of sports too. When somebody gets cut from a team, Ty, do they go, I hate you, team? No, they go, I can do better. I could have done better. Think about that. Think about how different that is from corporate world. You get let go from the corporate world, they suck. They don't even recognize who I am and what I do. You get let go from a sport, or I got a better one. How about military for a second? 99% of people don't become a SEAL that apply to try to be a SEAL. Never do they look at the Navy SEALs commanders and go, you all suck. Can't believe you didn't let me be on your team. They look in the mirror and say, next time you're going to do better. And you will make that team next time. How beautiful would it be if there was a world that looked just like that in every position? If you get let go, it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with inward looking.
So this active learning system that you guys created, and you talked about retention, man, it increases retention like upwards of 700%. So how does it work, Alex? I mean, like, how does this really work to be able to get such a better result than what anything out there really else has produced?
Well, because again, if we go back, and I don't know what kind of screen shares I can show or what we can show here or what we can add later on to in post-production of this. So in typical learning platforms, when I teach you something, okay, I want you to understand what I taught you, and that's about it. In Fuel, Ty, if I teach you how to, the first line of the best cold call, how to get people to want to hear what else you have to say, and I teach you that, I don't want you to remember it. I want you to practice it. And the platform pops up a microphone and you actually practice that line. So your mouth moves in what I taught you. Just like in sports, if I teach you how to kick a field goal, I don't care that you understand how to kick it. I need you to go kick it. I need you to go make sure you can do it. And in this, if I'm teaching you how to speak, your mouth has to move a certain way. Your inflection points have to be, pauses have to be in a certain place. So you get to practice. If I'm teaching you how to do a social media post, I'm not just telling you to, do you understand? This is what you need. You have to include it. Great. Okay, let's go to the next one. No, you're actually going to do that you're going to practice that post right there. So you can, with the instructor, now talk about the problem. Now talk about the solution. Now talk about the call to action. You're going to write those things right there. Not the fact that you need them. You're going to actually write them right there. And that coach is talking to you one-on-one. You're doing it right there. And now with our AI system that we're building out, every single instructor is now a GPT. And so when you're practicing this, you can actually have the instructor practice with you, not just submit and move on, which is what's happening now. But by the end of July, every single instructor that we have in a platform will be an AI GPT version, so they can practice their content with you. And you can ask them questions so you can get a little bit more support. So the difference, you ask, what's the difference? You said 700% more retention. That's the difference. You apply what you learn rather than try to remember. And you do it now. You do it right now. I'll tell you one more thing here before we move on to something else. I just spoke to a guy named Lewis Katz who jumped on Fuel, who's a speaker who's planning to have his content on Fuel. But he got on Fuel before we even got to talk, and it inspired him so much that he changed his keynotes. At the end of his keynote, he now says, I think he calls it, man, I had it written down. Watch that. It was right here just a second ago. It was called the magic. Where is it? Let's see. 1 minute leap. He called it the 1 minute leap. And he says, Alex, what I discovered after getting on Fuel is that I don't need to read a whole book to take action on something really relevant. I don't need to spend 30 minutes listening to a podcast to be inspired to do something different. He's like, you showed me that in a minute or two, I can be so inspired. And he's like, I actually tested it out outside of your platform. I picked up a book and I got onto a call. This is what he's telling me. He's like, I got onto a call that had 3 minutes before the call started. And I read for about a minute and a half. And I closed the book and he said, I was so inspired in that minute and a half to do something incredible. And I had an amazing call with the person I was having a call with. He's like, but what I learned from Fuel and from then doing it outside of Fuel is you don't need to invest an extraordinary amount of time to inspire and motivate yourself to take the action that's best for you to take. That was a breakthrough. And so that's the big idea here is how do we give everyone a chance to be the best version of themselves and do it in a way by practicing skills rather than trying to remember them.
You have a lot of diverse content on Fuel as well. Like, give me an idea, like what kind of content can we find when we actually go and access Fuel?
Yeah, that's another fantastic question. So Fuel has a significant library and growing. The core foundation that we started to build Fuel on was self-mastery, right? How to be the best you. That is, so what does that contain? That's mental fitness, that's confidence, that's stress management, that's communication, that's health, that's awareness, all of that. So there's a lot of courses on personal growth. Then there's and it's part of self, but it's life mastery. How are you around your people, your audience, the people you spend time with? So mastering your life experiences and your relationships and things like that. Then it's about leadership mastery. Okay, that's the three core foundational things that are in the platform. And of course, we then have career things too. There's sales mastery, which, by the way, sales mastery isn't just about selling products. It's about communication. How do you and a group of friends that are going to an amusement park choose to go to the restaurant you want to go to rather than the one they want to go to? That's communication. That's sales. How do you make yourself a leadership type of role even in those environments? How do you use best practices from sales courses to apply in your personal life to maybe get an appointment 3 weeks earlier than what somebody just told you that's available? Maybe there's things, right? So sales is actually just communication. And so there's lots of communication courses that are disguised as sales courses. And then, of course, we are now adding health courses, financial literacy courses, parenting courses, how to be a great speaker. Soon, very excited about this. Fuel for Kids. How do we inspire the next generation to do things, to apply themselves the way that they want to apply themselves rather than just going to school for memory things? How do we give 10-year-olds financial literacy courses through a fun way like this, right? How do we give 14-year-olds a course about self-discovery and acceptance and relationships and the feelings they're going to be feeling and having tough conversations with adults and applying for your first job? And what kind of job should you first apply to when you're 14 years old? How can you earn a living at that age if you want to? Because things are changing, right? And so Ty, it's not all just recorded. We have video. Now we have audio only because people have told us they want this content everywhere. They don't want to just have to watch. They want to be able to listen. We have live events every week. We have live events, live shows, Mindset Mondays, Leadership Lives, the Ring the Customer Bell with Chip Bell, Keep More of What You Earn with Jake. Jake has an incredible course for people who earn more than $200,000 a year, how to earn more, keep more of that, what to ask your accountants. Very important course because people give away too much money. but he does it live. It's a live show. You can ask him questions. And so we also have live keynotes and workshops, right? But they're all focused on performance improvement, not knowledge gathering. Every one of our pieces of content is about, you can do it. You can do this now. Go apply it today. Go, right? Instead of, hey, just listen so it makes you feel good. No, don't just listen. Do something with your knowledge, right? Apply yourself.
Is that Jake Alexander?
No, I don't have his last name near me, but not Jake
But that
Alexander,
actually
no.
brings up another question. Like, who are the instructors? Who are these instructors that are doing these trainings?
Yeah. Oh, such a good question. So these instructors came from Todd's experience in being an author. So Todd's published lots of books. So he's got access to these publishers and these different speaker bureaus. And he made one phone call to a guy that helped him publish one of his, or several of his books, by the name of Mac Anderson. He's on our advisory board now. He's incredible. And he said, Mac, here's what we're building. And we're looking for heart-forward authors, speakers, gurus, who have a heart to give, who would share their content with people over a cup of coffee and would even buy that cup of coffee for the person listening, but also have proven content. Not just a great story, not just wonderful speakers, not just amazing people that will give their wisdom away, but their wisdom actually has helped numerous people be successful, and it's proven. And Mac started with Brian Byro, just like incredible. John Murphy, just these incredible individuals that are just phenomenal. And from there, it became its own gravitational pull. They said, hey, I got a couple friends that are incredible. Can I introduce them to this? And then they had a couple friends. Now we have over 250 instructors that are in our network. Not all of them are on the platform yet, but we have over 250. We have 6 instructors from Australia that are ready to record content to put on here, as Australia is becoming one of our bigger markets. So, but that's where these people come from. By the way, just so everyone hears this is incredible. Our instructors have serviced every Fortune 500 company over the last 30 years in some capacity. In some capacity. They've been on their stages, they've done leadership coaching, they've done sales, customer, you name it, executive. In some way, every single Fortune 500 company over the last 30 years, they've been a part of their, somehow. It's incredible. They've written over 350 books combined between them, over 45,000 keynotes between them. Incredible. I mean, this is just the smartest and biggest hearted people you'll meet.
You talked about this earlier. How is Fuel work? How's it used by managers to be able
Yeah.
to enhance the skill sets, the ability, the knowledge of their teams?
Yeah, so this is very special. Again, so to remind people from earlier, we mentioned the model is based on professional sports and the military, because the military and professional sports is so good at raising the bar constantly. Think about that, right? I ask NFL players this question. Can an NFL player from 1990 make the team in 2025? And the NFL players are like, no. But then I ask individual people like you and me, like people who haven't played the sport at that level, and say, hey, do you think they could make the team? And people are like, no. It's like, how in the world are we, who are not experts in this, so confident that somebody from 1990 couldn't even make the team in 2025? That's because we've seen the league transform. It's transformed. People are faster, stronger, taller, all of that. So yeah, you from 1990, you probably have a tough time making the team right now. So what is it that they're doing that we can do here in the business world? Well, number one, they have a standard. Okay? They set a standard. So what do we do with leaders? We have everyone set a baseline. Meaning, I can't make an NFL team if I can't run a 40-yard dash in a certain time. Doesn't matter how pretty I am. Doesn't matter how smart I am. Doesn't matter who I know. Doesn't matter how my skin color, my height, all of that. Nothing matters. They go, well, I timed you. You can't be on the team. Jump now. Nope, not high enough. They don't care. They're looking for performance. Number one. Okay? So, number one, you set a standard. There's a baseline. To make this team, to play for this team, whatever it is, accounting, programming, there's a baseline. Number two, we arm the leaders with tools. Okay? If you look at coaches in sports, they don't look at Ty, which you look like you're in really good shape, Ty. They don't look at Ty and say, hey, Ty, I'm going to need you to strengthen your chest. All right? I'm going to lay down. You're going to head and bench press me now. Okay? Now we're going to do a little arm wrestling so I can strengthen your arms. What? Can you imagine if coaches were like, I had to do it all? I'm responsible for every part of your growth. No. Coaches have resources, tools, equipment they can send you to make you a better version of you in whatever you're trying to get better at, right? In business, we don't have that. In business, we have one tool managers have. How can I help you? How can I be of service? What can I support you with? That's the tool. And then people talk tasks. Can you help me get this contract finished? It's a task. It's not growth. It's completing a task. So we arm leaders with tools. What tools? Okay, here's an example. So when you watch a lesson on confidence in speaking, that says something to me, the leader, right? That says something to me. And our system does this amazing assessment just by you learning the things you want to learn. Just like when a player is in the game, playing the game that they're playing, and they get off the field and the coach says, look, do more of this, don't do more of this. Because they want them to play better in the game right away, not later. They want them to play better now. Our system has the ability to give that same assessment in real time and say, hey, Ty, I can read one for you actually. It says, hey, Ty, somebody on your team has really jumped into this learning. Would you like to see what is it that they're working on? What is it? What kind of personal growth are they trying to work on? And then you'd get something like this. And I'll just read it to you. I don't know if I want to show it on screen or not, but I'll just read it to you. So here's an example, Ty. Heather's recent lesson engagement reflects a proactive approach to her personal development. Okay. The lesson she chose indicates a strong interest in enhancing her interpersonal skills, which is crucial in dynamics and leadership. Think about that for a second, Ty. You are the leader of this person, Heather, and you just got a notification that she's trying to work on her interpersonal skills. Two things can happen instantly. Number one, praise her. Heather, I just want to acknowledge you for investing in yourself and learning new things. How can I help you apply? Instead of what can I help you with, forget that stupid question. It's not stupid all the time. But forget that question because that's a blanket cover question. Everyone is expecting you to ask it and they don't even know how to answer. So they tell you they need a task to help with. How can I help you with applying your interpersonal skills? I'm pretty good at that. I've done it all my life, right? All this. Now, at the end of the report, it says overall, Heather shows great potential for growth. And with the right support and encouragement, she can make significant strides in her professional development. But there's like another 4 paragraphs that tells you about Heather. So how do we help leaders? We help leaders simply by helping them become great talent developers. To become a great talent developer, it's not about saying you have all the answers. You can't be a know-it-all. You have to be a learn-it-all. In this world, you have to be a learn-it-all. And so we teach leaders how to learn and help others learn so they can grow. That's what we do. We don't train any of the team. We only focus on leaders. Of course, the team comes to us, they attend our events, they ask us questions, no problem. But our focus, Ty, is on the leader because the leader will help grow the team.
Alex, I love it. There's a lot of people that are watching right now and they want to know how do they get it? How do they access fuel? What steps should they take to be able to take this for a test drive and see it for themselves?
Yeah, so individuals can get fuel for 7 days at no cost. It's right inside the App Store. Just search for Fuel Inc. In Apple. You can also the best. It's an Android too. It's on all the platforms. So just search Fuel Inc. And the best way is probably just to go to myfuel.io. That's myfuel.io. That's our website. That'll give you access to everything. Either register, sign up for an account, or come join one of the events, come join one of the conversations, schedule a demo. The target audience, Ty, is HR leaders. This is an employee benefits program, right? We have enterprises that are paying, and just everyone that's hearing this, just remember the time. It's June 4th, 2025. So when you hear me say this, it won't be the same price probably when you contact me if it's about a year later, but just let me explain to you. We believe in democratizing this. And so the price is extremely low. We have groups that are paying as low as $3.50 per person per year to have access to this library and this community of live experts, okay? It is our mission. It is a co-creation project. And so come find out. If you're an HR leader and you're saying, hey, how do I improve the performance and well-being of my team? This will be a worthwhile conversation. And it will cut costs along the way. So you'll save money and offer something significantly valuable to your entire team. And then, of course, just find us on LinkedIn and online, Fuel Inc. We're all over the place. So
I love it, buddy. Thanks for coming on today.
Ty, thank you so much for this opportunity and for speaking to you and your audience, man. Thank you.
All right. So listen, if you're watching this, I use this, and I can tell you what, I'm in a mastermind with a lot of very high level 7, 8, 9 figure business owners, and a lot of them are using it too. I know some of the instructors; they're really, really, really high level as well. And this is free for a very short period of time, and then it's very cheap after that. So it's definitely worth you taking a look. I don't know about you, but I'm staying in line. I do a lot of these crazy things that like I need to be doing something productive during all these downtimes. And what's nice about Fuel, it's so many things, is that you can do that. I mean, you're able to absorb information, apply it, and actually really obtain skill sets, get better at the skills that you actually have. Unlike normal systems where you're just learning something, let's be honest, you just don't retain it. The way that Fuel is set up is that it's really designed for you to actually really retain what you're earning, what you're learning, so you can learn so much, you can advance so much, you can learn all types of new skills and retain that. It just helps you as an individual. It helps your teams as well. So make sure you check it out. You can go to myfuel.io. On myfuel.io, you'll see right near the top where you can easily come in and start your free trial. You can also go to the bottom, and at the bottom of the page on the left, you can come in and be able to subscribe to their actual YouTube or their actual social media channels. And then you'll see another link with Apple, and you'll see another link with Google where you're able to download it right there as well. And you can also go in and learn more about the courses. But if you're clicking at the top right of the page, you're able to actually click more and learn more about the actual courses that they have. I mean, this is so powerful. It just makes sense. Just go grab it, download it. It's free for 7 days. Check it out. And then it's ridiculously affordable after that. So make sure you check it out right now. Go to myfuel.io. You can also go to Fuel Inc. and look for Fuel Inc. on Google Play and Apple iTunes Store as well. If you don't know, just go to myfuel.io and just go right there. You can do the downloads and everything you need right there. So make sure you check it out right now, myfuel.io. I promise you, you will not regret the decision. So make sure you check it out right now, myfuel.io. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a great day.